If you take it back to the base, which is the people's vote, yes, then I am the Prime Minister because my party has won the general election. With regards to the extra member of parliament, because that seems to be the last peg that the caretaker Prime Minister is holding on to. And of course, the implication of that, should their appeal succeed, then it would be a hung parliament. However, decisions have been made, and until the Court of Appeal brings down a decision on that, the situation is that we are still the majority of members elected.
But you're not necessarily saying that you think that you are the legitimate Prime Minister then?
Oh, yes, I do. Indeed, I do.
Well, speaking about obviously the many challenges that are going through the courts today, as I'm sure you're aware, came through not that long ago. The Attorney General has confirmed that they will be trying to disqualify the Supreme Court judges, citing that there are conflicts of interest and potential favouritism in favour to you and to the FAST Party. Do you hold any concerns about the independence of the judiciary?
I mean, I've heard that the AG has made that proposition to the courts, and that's the prerogative of the court to decide on that. It's a very sad occasion when a Prime Minister takes this particular position towards one of the pillars of the government structure. And when it starts from there, this is not his first attack on the courts or the judiciary. That has been ongoing for a very long time. And it was one of the concerns that is included in what I see as a slide away from the rule of law. And it's also this particular attack on the judiciary.
What I'd like to ask about is Australia and New Zealand, and in fact, the Pacific Islands Forum, the UK, the US have all come out with very similar statements this week, basically staying out of the matter and repeating the line that it's important for all parties in Samoa to respect the rule of law and the democratic processes. Is that good enough for you? And I should note the situation is peaceful. They don't want to be accused of interference. Is that good enough for you?
I think it's important in these kinds of situations where the stake is, very firmly grounded. And, it needs to be said that the international community or multilateral organizations send out a very clear message that they will not accept anything that goes away from the standards that have been set and the expectations of how governments and individuals, leaders should conduct themselves.
So are you saying they're being too weak at the moment?
I think it needs to be a little bit stronger because this is a government that is in place. It's an interim government, but they need to be given the message that people are looking at how they conduct this. We, on our part, I believe that, we've stuck very closely to the rule of law. We've looked at the options that are available to us, and we will continue to proceed in that way.
Well, now with questions obviously over the role of the Supreme Court judges and the moves to try and disqualify them today, Australia and New Zealand have maintained that they have faith in Samoa's institutions, including the judiciary. Does this new step mean that Australia and New Zealand and others might be forced to do more or say more? Would you want that?
Well, I think so. Catherine, the courts is the one government body that's intact at the moment. We have a caretaker government in the executive, and Parliament is not fully convened. We all understand that. So this is the body that is intact. I believe that they're playing their role, thank goodness. Even if some of the decisions had come down against FAST, we would have had to respect that.